he goes out and makes sure all the products coming in right, put in the right room. And he might be gone 6 semesters, sometimes even longer.
So he's something of a construction manager for that area.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's taking care of the logistics of it.
Yeah. Everything off the dock, where it wants to go, make sure it's cooked right. So he's on the road, he ain't back to finish work, he got his crew going.
Somebody, they got the windows fixed in the building.
Yeah.
It's ready, it's dry. Royal size.
Was you raised in Fairmount?
Yeah, yeah.
How old are you?
73.
No, he's a little older than you. My first brother-in-law, Dave Carter. And Jim, I mean, he had a brother named, I think, Jim.
Well, there was a,
And I
it seemed
think
like there was a carpenter a year ahead of me. High school.
it was Dave, probably.
But there was a carpenter, gosh, it's been a while.
I think he had a sister, and then he had a brother, I think, Jim, I think.
What's new in the world of surveyors?
You know, it's been a while since I was.
Just routine stuff, right?
Right.
That's good.
Burning brush and digging ditches.
There you go.
We can't have too much fun.
He likes destroying stuff, so.
No, that's it, that's what it is.
Steve, you look like you're supporting breast cancer.
Come on, spring. Right?
Thumbs up.
That's what I'm trying to do, man. Come on. You can't get here soon enough, can I?
I don't need spring, but I would like to see the sun once in a while.
I mean, the weather is part of it. That won't be that.
Yeah, but speaking of spring.
Yeah, I could
some
deal
of
with
the flowers.
the weather. Give me some sun.
There's gonna be a whack.
That's
You know,
what
we had all that warm weather. I was really worried about the trees.
And the wife, every time.
I'll give you a thumbs up
She's a
on that.
big advocate of summer.
Red.
that yellow thing in the sky? Run out, take their clothes off, oh my God. But I think that I was over in England many years ago and I was at a Heidelberg conference, just to see it walking around.
Oh, thanks.
I was stayed at that.
That's
You know, some guy in a three-piece suit, but the sun was out there, and I was there for a week, and the sun was beautiful.
Navy did their stuff.
And he had taken off his
As soon as I stepped
jacket,
out.
he'd taken off his vest, he'd taken off his shirt, he'd taken off his underwear, he was there.
Really? Real quiet.
On the bench, I said, "The sun." Because I guess that's not his
In
color.
the car, they made me go
Oh, yeah.
I'm there.
I'm experiencing.
White gloves, I'm wearing.
Different idea.
Yeah.
And I took
Well,
my.
I was there, it was like all week of blue skies. That's great.
Oh, he was in the
Upper
back.
70s.
It's been too many hours. I haven't went to the bathroom.
Yeah. It's important to travel. Oh, yeah. I'd like to send everybody in county somewhere else just for, a year. The same with the rest of the world. One of the first people I worked for said.
There's my neighbor. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Everyone should take like a travel.
Full-time fireman.
Before you start college.
Yeah, well, you might have a better idea. I know, I would, on the other hand, I went to college.
Full one, it's not working. I've got a meeting over at your town hall tomorrow.
I wasn't,
I'm sitting down and talking to Don.
my pocket, traveling.
Palmer, I think it is.
What's that? Your wife wants you. She is.
I don't know.
She is. She wanted to find some good. Well, I find it.
Before I forget, I'm trying to get a hold of for the local water on the trailer. I need to make sure that's shut off.
He's somewhere there. They're giving back to the full-time
Okay,
to cover their
I
cancer.
will write that down.
And
I think that's all I'm waiting for. I didn't check today, the meters are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I need to do, just make sure that it's shut
I
off.
have 50 years.
Pretty sure we're gonna be like that next week.
37.
But don't put me on that, because the highway department is excited, they got a. minutes. So.
I mean, you're doing it instead of that.
Well, no, yesterday. Because when I remember walking in there, the whole like living room plus some of the bathrooms, you like you never knew what was upstairs.
That was
This thing was sitting way down.
I remember that.
I know you started it.
I know, yeah, I mean, it's been 3 years.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's.
So you got a desperate place to switch and make it stop.
Well, theirs is just ready, that's. It didn't have that. Right now that I have ready to go, trailer and you don't want. So me and Ryan were just talking about that, I'd like.
I'm not no hurry, I just know how Bob does it.
Right, well, like I told, like I told Ryan, with that touch screen, I really open. And maybe open the gal. Yeah, at least we got the other one in, so.
I probably could have went down there, slowed down my hand.
Oh, probably.
And
I was
little
wondering
help.
if-
Now it's different, it's got it all caved in.
I heard that. Is it empty? Oh, really?
English, don't come, I got five.
Has issues.
Yeah, the person that lives there has.
Yeah, I stay with the whole.
Well, they didn't,
Yeah, I did theirs fast.
Yeah.
he hired.
I did slide out. As soon as I found out. And then I went around there, I got the streets ran out my car. Now that's your car. Fresh water and stuff on there. Fresh water.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, I always say.
No, that's what I heard.
It's a very interesting one.
What's that?
Both sides of the.
It's like, missing, I forgot about that.
If you go get that animal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little bit larger. This is
Was it a joke for a firefighter? You went to a few, but it was it for joke?
No.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It should have been a line of duty.
They had.
No, I'm the district chairman.
Oh, yeah.
In the state.
It would have been fun.
Town council, city council.
Yep.
Yeah, because we certainly have needs.
Oh, it's hard.
Okay.
I definitely need to.
Video is.
For share.
And so.
That's a shame. There are a lot of. That's right there.
It's all taken one way. $1.8 billion. Volunteer.
All that too.
But then, because we have a major survey, that's and 1.2 inch. Annual.
No, my volunteer garden workers, which is a record check of the fire department.
I know all you.
They can certainly use the next one.
We can't, no. No, he probably don't have a lot of money.
I like to see the state maps reflected. Well, we've had people.
Sit on a bar with.
Be a town some place to go into and do things, interact.
Can you verify who's on the screen? Because the system highly is sitting over here.
Well.
Right by the railroad.
Hey, Bob, you know if your wife is on?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why there's Bob Hiley.
Oh, that don't look
Thank
like
you.
Bob Hiley.
It's not.
It's not your voice.
Well, since
He better,
I
let's look at.
She didn't know how to sign in, so I signed in for her. She wanted to see.
Roller skating upstairs.
I didn't know we had jacks up here.
Roller rink. Well, this used to be the restaurant. Right. Before they built. Well, back with the Spencer was the hotel. This was the restaurant.
Oh, part of
Yeah. I forget what this is called, but you know, it's nice to have the deal out there. I worked there once, so first.
Did you?
Yeah, I knew all the Roush was a manager and he had a Cadillac. We had Cadillacs.
Everybody please silence your phone. Let's have the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brendan, roll call, please.
Atkins. Here. Boswell,
Yes.
Reading,
Here.
Royals,
Here.
Cottle,
Here.
House,
Here.
Hiley,
Here.
Hicks,
Here.
Hunt, Maynard,
Here.
Knuckles,
Here. Could you hear me?
This time, do the election. Start square one. Because you all know what problems we had last time. Start the nomination. Now, do it right this time. That's what I had on my agenda on the wall out there. Door. Somebody took it down. We'll start one, day one. Because Ryan, I don't want to hear it. You was part of the problem last time. Little group was part of the problem. I'm not He was quick about pulling the people. Wanted to do the election.
Follow-up. Johnny. It sounds like it's done right, minus the pending vote permit. So the only thing we do, technically, is reaffirm the results.
I know it. Wade, secret ballot win. I was involved in it. I know there's corruption. So I'm gonna correct it, so I can suppress it. We're gonna start with number one. We're gonna do it all over the right. That's what's on my agenda, that's what you stick with. I know how quick two things were said. Somebody was quick about grabbing paper, you move that away. Third reason what we can do.
My only question then is, are you saying that what was written down was not accurate? Just on that.
I am a happy way it was handled by certain people. So to correct that problem, like Steve Wright has said before, we need to do things right. Things weren't done right last time. It was a little groupie thing. I figured it out. I went home, sit and listen to this meeting. And I remember how quick somebody said secret ballot, secret ballot. Ryan didn't have his laptop. Before I knew it, he had the answer. Go ahead.
I was sitting out there, I think, when we crossed this bridge last year in a meeting where I'm not sure whether it was in a majority vote, but not stating Chuck to be president until election took place. If I'm not mistaken, nominations were opened on the second time that we had the election. So I think we set a precedence to open the election back up based on what took place last year.
He'll be back in what happened last year.
Well, I was sitting out there, but for some reason, the election started in January, but I don't think it is actually completed until March. So
There was not a
couple
majority vote in
situations.
January.
Okay.
And then in February, the meeting was canceled.
Was a quorum in February.
So slightly different.
Other than is the fact that we did not have a change of presidents last year. So the process started over with nominations and so forth. So I think the precedence has been set.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's a precedent, but I would reiterate that Mr. Hartman was correct in asking the policy counselor to review and rule the situation. And he is the state counselor for the open policy, which was the violation. And he did, as Mr. House has pointed out, he did say, you not have to redo the nominations, you just have to do
Why not open it up? You're fighting over.
Then let's get it done.
We're gonna end up either way.
Let's get it
the same
done.
result. So let's wait.
And I set the agenda and this is the way we're gonna go. So I open the election.
That would be a vote then. I mean,
No, I set the agenda. I have the right to set the agenda.
right, but you don't have the right to change how the process is done. So we have a legal.
The process says
If you want,
we
if
have
you want,
nomination,
then
vote.
then ask the board what they want to do, rather than pushing it, but ask.
So you're asking for nominations or what?
Yeah, I'm asking for nomination for president right now.
I'll nominate Reds.
We have second.
I'll nominate Chuck.
I'm seconding Frank's nomination.
I have a second on Chuck.
Second in charge.
Okay, Brenda, roll call.
Wait a minute.
Anybody you want that more?
We probably ought to have discussion of that. Whatever. I mean, once you have nominations and you're ready to take a vote, prior to that, there should be opportunity for discussion. If there's anybody that has anything that they would like to say, you know, perhaps the candidates, for example, would like to tell us about their qualifications. It was pretty, you know, those kinds of things. It might be like that. In the meantime, though, before we get there, guys, this meeting at this hour, this particular, I think problematic. I've got some people who are not able to be here. So why did you choose this day, Mr. President? I just like, why were you?
Right here, right now, I had no choice of,
You had no choice.
at this day, time,
That was your, but it is your decision.
No.
You made the decision.
because I didn't make the decision. We meet this time and this hour.
What was your,
I was looking at Thursday. Ryan told me, since he was secretary, that he could make a meeting and set it.
okay, so
So I thought it over, and after I thought it over, I had somebody come up, put my agenda on the door. I seen my agenda was taken off the door because the president sets the agenda.
Can't change
Present
the agenda
subject
without
agenda.
having 3 business.
It was 3 days ahead of time. I come up, the person come up here 3 days ahead of time. Cause you guys
Perhaps-
thought Monday, we can't help.
Perhaps to Mr. Baffo's original point, we have everyone here. Shall we proceed? And, you know, if you want to ask for any comments or discussions, that's fine. So we can proceed with the vote.
Because I was gonna pick Thursday, because I
Okay,
knew
that's-
Knuckles couldn't be here to a certain time. I knew I was gonna be busy today with student, but I was told no.
You know, I knew. Okay. Considering the fact that we've got some new members who have only attended 1 or 2 meetings, I think it's important, as in most elections, that the candidates would share with us what their thoughts, platforms, agenda is that's going to lead this. I mean, I don't think there's any secret that there's some heavy issues going on with this board. Sometimes it embarrasses me to be part of what's going on here. I don't want to call it the Mickey Mouse Club or the night court thing, but, you know, I think we take that appearance sometime, and I'd like to see that cleaned up a little bit. I mean, we do represent the public here.
Perhaps if we just get on with the vote, we can do that.
Well, and
Accomplish that meeting.
David, I guess what I'm asking is I'd like to hear what Chuck and Rex have in mind as the leaders of this group. I think that would be reasonable for any election. I mean, I think when we go to vote for candidates in a normal election, they usually have an agenda and they share with us what their views are. And
If you wanna know mine, the reason when I got asked last year to run, because I thought we was corrupt. We weren't following rules of our APC, way things were being done. We told the commissioners, you ain't gonna like certain things. We asked where that come from. We couldn't get straight answers. We weren't following IC codes. We were just out everywhere. And I told people, they asked me if I'd run. And I told them if they would nominate me, I'd make sure we get back to following IC code, state code, and answer the questions the right way. The person got it. And if I know the commissioner, I would legally tell you where I got my answer from. Because over this last year, people have asked me, and I've been to Kyle, and people asked me, and I said, Kyle, I got my answer from Kyle. And I'm not gonna lie around the bush. And I feel like we wasn't running this meeting the way our agenda's supposed to run, the way our rules are supposed to be run. We was way out. And the way we do things. And we need to get back to the way we run it. I know the commissioners wanted us to do something over a year ago. The way our rules read, we was out of bounds. And we need to get into bounds and stay in bounds. Cause like Steve Wright says, we always gotta follow the rule and go right. So that's what I've been trying to do all year. But I have different people, different areas of the county, sticking their nose down here and trying to tell us, and this is ours here. We have rules. It's not for them, and that's why I run. I won't plan on running again until somebody headed or getting corrupt again. I think we need to straighten the corruptness and get it straight and run a straight line like we're supposed to. That's why I asked for the election to start over day one tonight, to make sure we do it 100% right and that we're not back at this position again. Because if we keep doing what we did over a year ago, we're gonna be back here with all kinds of mess. That's why I run.
Chuck, can you share your thoughts with us, please?
Well, I just sat back and looked to see what was going on and seeing how the office, for lack of a better word, being treated. But the way, from the information I received, how they were communicated with, and that's not right. So that's one aspect. As far as last year and the way I ran,
What is that? What's not right?
Well, here, hold on,
Hold on.
I'll interject on this because I was stopped. Since I was gonna bring this up at the next meeting, but since it's been brought up, I'll bring it up now. I was stopped at the county courthouse by an acquaintance of mine. I'll leave names out. But they came to me, asked me if I sat on this board because they thought I did. I said, yes. They said, just so you know, here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that your employees, for lack of better words, are being verbally harassed and abused by a member or members sitting on this board. I said, what do you mean? They proceeded to give me some examples of things that were said, some things that have been, how they're being directed at people. There are employees. I would never tolerate what, if what's being described to me is accurate, I would never tolerate that. And if it was an employee of mine that worked underneath me, I would have them fired. I'd do everything I could. So I'll say this. This is what I've heard, and it came from the court building, a person that works in the court building. Hold on. If I hear of it again, I'm going to make sure I publicly bring it up in a meeting. And I will go to whatever appointing agency you are, and I will let them know from who appointed you that this is how you talk to the employees. We can have differences. We can disagree back and forth. We can absolutely want to remove someone from the office. That's fine. There's a level of decorum and actual way you're supposed to treat employees that we should be doing. I understand things get heated. We've talked about this numerous times, the back and forth and how things are heated. I get that, but they should not get the brunt of what we're doing.
Do we know what might have, I don't know who it is that you're indicating has made those kinds of things, but do we know what precipitated that kind of behavior? Was there something from the other side that precipitated the response?
It was not that in depth, as far as that, what
Okay, right.
propagated it. But even then, as a board member, to talk to somebody in that manner, regardless of what, we should be bigger than that. We represent the people.
I've heard.
So if that's the case,
I've heard the same thing to the contrary. So,
okay,
as to where, yes, sir. Neither one of them are right.
this is true.
Okay.
I give you that.
Happened.
But if it's coming from an employee, we have other ways of dealing with
I
that.
understand. Go ahead.
so I'd like to give.
Robert, question.
No, go ahead.
I agree with you. If individuals going up there, they should be coming to the president or the executive board with their complaints. They should not be up there. And then anybody goes up there, and if it's happening, they should have come to me or the executive board. We could have the meeting, because I have not heard nothing about it. I want to make that clear. Because if anything I say, I'm not afraid to speak up and tell you guys what I said up there. What's the problems I have had the last year. and everything that don't need to be discussed right here at this point in time. And that's why I like to answer Rob.
Right, so I go back. So a lot of this boils down to the solar ordinance, get right to the point. Yes, the county commissioners did do some pre-planning and stuff like that, but they are part of the county, just like me being a representative from Sweetser. If I had an issue or something that I wanted to bring up and get an ordinance or something tweaked or brought before us, I would come and ask for help to get it done. The commissioners represent the unincorporated area of the county. I think they would have the same full ability to do that. Bring something before us as the governing body. Okay, so they did that. This is what they would like to see happen. I, being generous, and sometimes it backfires on me because I like to have as much input as possible. I invited the BZA. We had a meeting, a joint meeting. Good ideal, okay? You can see that it wasn't quite what the county commissioners wanted. So week after week or month after month, we had more meetings and changes were made. And yes, I did say, well, you know, this probably isn't gonna fly. This probably isn't gonna fly. We need to come together and work. Every time you guys, we as a board voted, we voted. I did vote generally in the position that you did. Every time Ryan came back the next meeting with the adjustments that you guys wanted. Every time. And we had draft 5, 6, 7, I think all the way up to 9. Every time. Then out of the blue, that last meeting, we voted an ordinance from a different county that hardly anybody reviewed. We heard about it and we passed it. You know why I voted yes for that? Because I wanted to make sure that we got past that, send it back to the commissioners, and then get the thing back down here. And maybe we could work for it again. But Ryan, every meeting, am I wrong? Every meeting, he came back with the changes that we proposed. He wasn't working for the county commissioners at that time. He may have given reflection back of what they were saying, or all the information that he gathered from all the different counties to help us in making a logical or hopefully a good decision. So that's the way I take on the solar ordinance.
I ask a question.
Yes.
If you are elected,
Yes.
would it be your intent then to support commissioners' ordinance that we have already in place and that sort of thing?
It's on the books.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know,
It's on
would your intent to go back to the position that you,
I view the president should be more like a moderator. If as a whole, we vote that we want to do something, then that's what I should support. After this meeting, I'm supposed to go stand in front of the county council and ask for money. I didn't vote for us to do that, but me, if I am elected, or Rex, we gotta go and talk and ask, you know, we asked at this meeting, we voted to do this, the review. But that as a president or whatever, that is that person's job is to represent what the board decided.
so we are on the agenda tonight.
Yes.
What time's that meeting?
7 o'clock.
6 o'clock. So we probably, I'm just,
6 o'clock. I understand, Bob. I can get him to
Yeah.
that. So the fact that, you know, we may have a change of presidency.
Right.
It would be the intent for the work that had been done and the person to go represent us and so on.
Yeah.
Then you're going to,
Well, I will just make an introduction. But if I am the one.
but that's the reason for this meeting being tonight at 5 o'clock, so that,
Right.
I see. Okay.
And
Now, Randy is going to actually speak, but Rex and I said either way. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to
Well, you said
clarify
you were gonna
something.
go before, but I just saying, okay.
When he said Ryan was doing all this, if you look at our rules and procedures, I read them enough this year. We did this sword ordinance wrong.
Rex,
And I'm not gonna get detail. We did it wrong.
Rex, hold on a minute. Chuck's opportunity to present his.
Okay, it's freaking out, he's here.
Yes. Go ahead, Chuck.
My philosophy as far as managing is not to micromanage. I do think you need to follow through or follow up or get updates and planning ahead or thinking of what could happen ahead, but to get in and the day-to-day nuts and bolts, yes, it's nice to know what's going on, but as far as, you know, who unlocked the door this morning? I don't know. I mean, that's going to go extremes, but, that the office, we should have enough trust in the director to run the show and support his office and then supply us with enough information so that we can make good decisions.
Well, what I gotta say about that, as long as the office follows our rules and procedure. And from what I have seen this last year, in the last couple of years, I've been on here about 7 years. The office don't follow our rules and procedures and bringing things back to us. Because we have certain rules that's gotta be brought back and voted for the whole membership. And they just take it, I can do what I want. I haven't been up there, been up there and had to correct it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I had to correct it. And he was warned once before, warned again, just like Robert said. So I've been told stuff by the lawyer. I pushed it up. People don't want to listen. And like Robert said, and I know, because I was working in factories, I would have been shown the door, and the door would have been smacking me in the butt.
Can we just all agree that we all have to follow the rules, regulations, and procedures? That is the bottom line. We also know that there's discrepancies between our area-wide zoning ordinance and the state law, and we should be focusing as a commission to remedy those by changing the local ordinance to conform with the state law. And, you know, I don't think there's any member on here that would say they don't want to follow the state law. I think that is an imperative.
And Robert, I appreciate you bringing it up because I hope in the next meeting that I can ask or I'll make a motion that we make a decision to follow Indiana code until we're able to put the two of them together. I know Brian wants to do that, but you know, we can't play this back and
No,
forth thing.
we have no choice. The state law trumps.
Okay.
Okay.
And I think
So I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah, I think that's what got us into this problem we're into now is if we'd had the Indiana code in front of us, if that's the one we'd have followed, we wouldn't be sitting here today. So we got to get that cleaned up.
Yeah, and for example, that process about voting in the local ordinance is intended to be a revision, intended to be on next month's meeting to get it changed to comply with the state code. I'm 100% by that.
I don't think we can violate state code.
No, we can't.
The only thing that we've got that we probably look at is where we have tried to be more restrictive ourselves on what state code is saying. Yeah, if we look at things, our local should just, whatever the state code is, that's where we are. So that's right.
Well, understand that there are some things in state codes that give general laws and leave details up to the locals through the rules. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like.
So
I'll make a motion that we close discussion. Everyone's okay with that? I'm sorry.
Mr.
I'm
Wright.
trying to get a comment, Mr. President. I'd just like to hear from both of you. This commission was put together in 1945 by the commissioners. Commissioners decided to go with an APC in our county at that time. And great move. I think, you know, to have a full board to kind of take a look at everything and seeing what else going on in our county. But one of the big things in there that I read was that this board is in charge of looking at the comprehensive plan every 5 years. My understanding, this board has looked at it, but not acted on it since 1997.
We looked at it back when Larry Strange was here, and I think somebody else, never.
Mr. Niblick, when Mr. Niblick was here, Mr. Haley probably would remember that period of time. Mr. Niblick did a lot of work with that, and we had revised, there's several sections to it. Each town has a section, et cetera. Mr. Niblick had actually gone to several of the towns and acted on the revision. At that time, I don't know, when 2014, I don't, when did Steve leave? He was doing it.
I can't remember.
When Steve left, he was in progress of reviewing that. And some of it had been acted on by this board, but it was being done, piecemeal.
But,
But a lot of it.
but officially,
Yeah,
it's
officially.
1997.
Yeah, no, that was official.
That's to make the bypass out here 4 lanes.
Yeah.
That was in that,
That's-
that was in that
that's
plan.
all the time.
Okay.
About that.
So I guess what I'm wanting to know out of you two, will you do something with the comprehensive plan this year? Will we study it to see, because we've lost 22,000 people in Grant
I know.
County since 1997. What do we do? Hang on. What are we doing as this body to help put a thumb in the dike? Because we're losing people, and by not creating jobs, by not taking a look at future things that we need to be doing, like somebody did with the 4-lane, the bypass and stuff, to me, this body hadn't done its job. And that's what I'm seeing as a member, that what we need to be doing. So I guess on record, I'd just like for you to go ahead.
For you.
Okay?
We tried to change it. Our board, our way of rules and procedure. Right and try it. I give him
Now,
credit.
he's talking about the comprehensive.
I know, but I'll get to that. When we try to work on it, then we had the solar that interrupts. It seems like every time we try to do something, something comes in that takes priority. Yes, I would like to see this year, we have nothing in the agenda that's really gonna push us, take the whole line away, where we can spend a little time and keep moving forward. Yes, I agree, we should. It should be done.
I think it should be done, but I don't think we can handle it. I don't think we our office is too small.
Yes.
We don't have the expertise. I think we might need to hire it out. We need to get something, we need to,
100%.
because we do not have the time
Yeah.
or the manpower or woman power to effectively and timely get it done.
Yeah.
Now, it's probably not in our budget, but if we had something presented very well, a package, this is what we want to do, then we probably could find some money.
That's
Yeah,
my
So
plan.
I don't think because, look, it's been since 95 or 7.
97.
It's not 96. That's not quite true.
But it hasn't been really thoroughly looked at in ages.
But it needs to be done. We don't have a disagreement. The timing is.
Yeah, and if we want to effectively get it
And I think
done,
we're gonna have no problem with.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's probably time to move.
Yep.
So roll call, Brenda. Election.
Atkins,
I haven't quite got over the way it went last year with the ordinance. What I've come to know is that the commissioners probably should have come into that ordinance after the APC had presented an ordinance to them for them to amend it and send it back to us. So I haven't gotten over that yet. So for that reason, I'm going to vote for Rex tonight.
Boswell,
Mr. Mayor.
Reading,
reading.
Tyson.
He's there.
There he is.
Royals,
Chuck.
Cottle,
Mr. Mayor.
Cows,
Chuck.
Kylie,
Chuck.
Hicks,
Mr. Mayor.
Hunt,
Chuck.
So do you mind just make the record known, Mr. Hunt has participated now on motions?
Couples,
Tyson,
Did you say me? Yeah. Let me try to get to a better area. I'm driving home.
Who you want to vote for president?
we come back as he gets a communication.
He was there. He
He's-
just, I'm not gonna focus.
Todd,
Brady.
Wright,
Mr. Brady.
Steve Tyson.
Tyson? We can see you. We just need your vote.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Right now.
Chip? Tyson? Tyson?
Your numbers currently.
Seven.
I'm gonna call back in.
We can hear you if you can speak. Are you trying to call back in? Try to get a better connection?
7-5 probably makes no difference really, right?
7 will be the vote.
Seven for Brady and 5 for Rex.
There's Tyson.
There's Tyson.
Let's get him back. Tyson, you there?
He's on the output.
Dang it.
Can you
All right, I
hear
got
us?
back.
Okay, who you want to vote for president?
Can I? Dang it.
Tyson, who you want to vote for president?
It's unfortunate we don't have communication. Can I offer that we should probably just mark him as present and,
I would agree.
okay,
It is 7, regardless of which way Tyson's out.
right.
It's recorded. It's recorded. Stay right there.
Go ahead.
All right, so we can continue on to the election of VP, but if it's gonna be the situation of, we'll follow the example of what we said, and we'll have nominations.
I have a motion, and that is that due to the fact that the county council does meet at 6 o'clock, that I would move that we move the nominations and voting for vice president to the next meeting.
And second.
Okay.
Okay, roll call,
We'll call on that.
roll call.
Yeah, that way, because Tyson may potentially be in there.
Atkins,
I agree with that.
Bothwell,
Yes.
Broyles,
Yes.
Cottle,
Yes.
House,
Yes.
Riley,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Maynard,
Yes.
Knuckles,
Can't hear them.
Todd,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
All right, so at the next meeting, one of our first things of business will be selecting a VP.
Yes.
All right. Make a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Anybody opposed? None? Ayes have it.